The common tendency we're going to be talking about today are punch volleys, and it's going to be taking the paddle back too far. I see this a lot taking place, lower levels, higher levels. I see a lot of people trying to generate too much pace. I see a lot of people not recognizing how much pace is coming at them, right? If I have pace coming at me, I don't need this big old giant take back. Why? Because I can use their pace. So keep in mind, if there's pace coming at you, you're always looking to redirect the pace back by keeping things short and tight. You know, I see a lot of people who take the paddle back too far because they see the ball late, or maybe they're kind of panicked. So some of the corrective techniques that I talk about as I'm teaching are, you know, treating your volley like you're giving somebody a high five. Okay, forehand high five over here, backhand high five over here. Forehand side, I'm leading with the palm of my hand, right? Back to that idea. Backhand side, I'm leading with the knuckles. Okay. Also, too, when you give somebody a high five, you would never swat at them, okay, or do any of this stuff. You can also see it as, you know, if I'm at this 10 o'clock ready position here, and I'm, you know, more so kind of camped out for a backhand. Let's say that my paddle is a book, and I'm opening up one little page of the book. So it's all taking place by keeping things nice and tight. If there's a ball in my armpit, same thing. I'm gonna grab a ball here real quick. Okay, if I had a ball in my armpit, okay, here's my book, got the ball in my armpit. The less going on, the less that can go wrong. Also too, kind of a funny little story here. How I learned how to volley when I was about 12 years old. I was taking a tennis lesson from my tennis pro back in Wenatchee, Washington. His name was Shaw Grobler, and it was kind of funny. Shaw put all the 12-year-olds on a fence, and he grabbed a basket of tennis balls, and he basically served at all the 12-year-olds. So here I am with a, you know, I'm kind of sitting on a fence here, and I'm waiting for that ball to come in, and my hands are shaking, and basically it forced me to not take the paddle back too far. Why? Because it would hit the fence, and it really kept me in the mindset of keeping things nice and tight. Last little tool would be keep the paddle inside of peripheral vision.
All right, guys, so the next topic we're gonna talk about, or common tendency, is for people on their volleys when they're taking the paddle back too far, not keeping things nice and tight and staying in peripheral vision. From what I've found teaching, this usually is more of an issue on the forehand side because we have this increased range of motion. So for a lot of us, we're a little bit more dangerous. We've got more offense on the forehand side, but we also have that tendency to try to do two more when it's not the right time. So we want to give you guys some corrective techniques and some drills to make sure that when we're in our ready position and we're adjusting to the forehand or the backhand, we're always making sure that that paddle stays within our peripheral vision. If I ever lose that in my peripheral vision, it means my backswing was too much, and my tendency is going to be to make contact a little bit too late and not have that nice contact point right out in front.
Yeah, I think even some of the things that I see at higher levels, and I mean, I do it myself, is, you know, it's just the idea of having range of motion on your forehand and getting excited over a ball. I can't tell you how many times I've seen myself doing this or felt myself like extending back. And so know that even at the highest level, it's tough to avoid, you know, using all this room back here. So just like what Kyle said, I mean, I strongly encourage you guys to really focus on, you know, keeping this thing inside a peripheral, treating it like your book, you know, it's like you're opening up one little page of the book, or like you're giving somebody a high five. Focus on, you know, leading with the palm or leading with the knuckles. But if you're going to be efficient when you're 14 feet away from each other, the only way to do that is in a very short, sweet, quick manner where there's not added variables. You don't have all these added, you know, flowing pieces. Things are clean. Things are, I guess the person who usually wins hands-feet battles is the person that technically has things more cleaned up. There's less going on, and it's just much more efficient being 14 feet away.
Yeah, you see at the higher levels, the people that are successful are more ready to keep a nice compact punch and do that 3 or 4 times, pop, 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 as opposed to the people that are flailing out of their shoes and they're going for the home run every time. It's very difficult to time, and if you don't win the point right on that stroke, you're usually not going to be ready for the ball to come back.
So first drill here, very basic. I like doing these stationary drills that are more technique oriented than anything else as a start. So basically, Kyle and I are going to be lined up.
You know,
let's say instead of, you know, 14 feet, we're going to be 7 feet, right?
Okay.
7 feet here, okay? we're going to be throwing forehand to forehand, but know that throwing a ball is identical to hitting a forehand volley. Same idea. Okay, palm is going to be up. Okay, so we're just going to volley back and forth here. Okay, beautiful. Maybe we put this left hand behind our back. Okay, beautiful. We speed it up a little bit, but it's just getting the idea of this is where your point of contact is, and this is how your arm should line up when you make contact. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so now I would say, Coach Kyle, go and grab a paddle here. Okay, so that's just on the forehand side. Second drill here. I'm going to have Kyle put a ball in his armpit. Ball in your armpit there. Okay, I'm going to have Kyle put a ball in his armpit. He's going to hit 10 forehand volleys and 10 backhand volleys. Ball in the armpit, we all know the trick. Keeps things nice and condensed. Not too much can go wrong. He can't be lifting his armpit up to get any air for his pit. He's going to be having to keep that thing lodged in there. Nice and easy, right back to me. Short and sweet. And maybe this is a time where I have Kyle scoot back to the kitchen there. Right, we're 14 feet apart, nice and easy, beautiful. This is, my feed has to be either in his yellow zone or in his green zone. There's no way, unless he wants some pickle butt, that he could get down to a ball like that. That's what I thought. Right. So my toss dictates, I guess, the success of the drill here. Beautiful. And then we'll go back in. Same idea. Okay. Kyle, I guess, tell us what you feel, with the ball being in your armpit.
So I actually feel, even though it's uncomfortable, not gonna lie, having a ball in your armpit, it's really valuable. I feel stronger. I'm in my area, my bubble, if you will, has gotten a little bit tighter, but within that bubble, I'm stronger and I'm more secure. I think a lot of times we feel like when we let ourselves get overextended, we're actually increasing our offense or our strength, for sure. But it's actually the opposite, right? You don't see, again, I use the boxer analogy because I think it's applicable. You don't see boxers all wide out taking these big haymaker swings. They're staying very tight and tucked in.
Right.
When we're going to battle in these exchanges, we want everything to be as efficient as possible. I like to talk a lot about the efficiency of movement, and you really have to be a perfectionist in these exchanges if you want to play at a high level.
Less is more, and there's something to be said about when you time it well, how much easy power just comes by good timing, right? Okay, backhand side, same thing. Okay, beautiful. Probably not as comfortable, correct, Kyle?
With the ball in the armpit, yeah, a little different.
Very good. Okay. And you know what I like about the ball in the armpit too? It forces him not to get too extended. There's no power out here. Now he's making contact nice and tucked in. Okay, and then we would change roles, do the same thing. Last drill here, no ball in the armpit. Last drill here, no ball in the armpit. We're gonna go forehand to forehand, then backhand to backhand. Directional dinking, forehand to forehand, nice, good. So if this pace was too difficult, we could slow it down, focus more on technique. Know that any time we are drilling, if you want to get the technique aspect out of it, you have to lower the pace.
Yep.
Okay, then we go backhand to backhand. Power slice. Power slice. Nice, good, good.
Okay, so guys, just want to review. Concept is taking the paddle back too far. That's the common tendency that we're talking about. Remember, we want to be like that boxer where everything stays in nice and tight. We actually stay stronger when we reduce our bubble and stay nice and close. The more we extend it out, the more we take that paddle back, we're actually losing strength. And the more we wind up, we make it so difficult for us to have that timing. So we want to make sure that we always have that paddle in our peripheral vision. The moment it gets back here, especially on that forehand side where we have the increased range of motion, the moment we lose sight of that, our percentages go down, we get a lot more mishits, and there's just too much going on.
Okay, think about some of the drills that we talked about were just tossing forehand to forehand, just kind of get the general idea of, high five, catching, and how it has the same analogy as hitting a forehand volley. And then we moved into teacher-student. Teacher-student was, teacher was tossing, student was hitting volleys. Teacher was tossing underhand, student was hitting forehand volleys and backhand volleys. I would go 10 on the forehand, 10 on the backhand, and then change roles. Okay, and then last drill was basically, we went forehand to forehand and then backhand to backhand. the drills that we presented you, make sure that they are time-based, make sure that you're being cooperative, and I think really focus on keeping that nugget that really comes to life for you from a technique standpoint, and focus on maybe it's 2 nuggets, but I think really hone in on those nuggets that have come to life or that make sense to you. Maybe it was visually, or maybe it was something that you saw during a drill session that we provided, but I think focus on what makes sense to you. Okay guys, the game here that we're going to show you is for the individual that tends to take the paddle back too far on their forehand volley. This whole skill set usually is wrapped around the forehand side, not so much the backhand side. As you can see, as I'm hitting a backhand volley, how it's very difficult with my body mechanics here for my paddle to even get back behind my peripheral vision. So peripheral, high five position. But the actual game is going to be wrapped around, we're going to have Coach Kyle at the kitchen line. We're going to have myself back at the baseline. Coach Kyle is going to have a ball in his armpit. He's going to hit 2 forehand volleys with the ball in the armpit, and then the point is going to be live from there. My job is to drive 2 balls to his forehand. So I'm working on directional driving, right? Directional driving. Directional driving, and he is keeping things, nice and firm here. He's acting like there's a rubber band tied around his body, and it's tied into that arm. But his key nugget is punch, letting the ball go out, and the point is live.
And once I know that I have that restriction and I can feel that with the ball in my armpit, I'm gonna naturally use more of my weight transfer, maybe more of my hips, my legs, and all the other main body parts that are not gonna break down. So for all of us that tend to take it back too far, usually we're doing that to gain some extra power. Now with us limiting that movement, we're gonna have to get a little bit of extra oomph and power from some other locations.
All right guys, the game's gonna start out rally scoring. I'm gonna drive 2 balls to his forehand. After his 2 forehand volleys, I would then come in, play the point out, and the point is live. Ready here? 1, 2, point is live. Play it out. Nice, very good. Again. Forehand volley. Punch.
Gotta get another ball under my armpit here.
He's just really working on 2 correct forehand volleys and letting the ball go. Ready here? Sorry. 1. There's 2. Now we're live. Oh yeah. That's a good point.
Too good.
Okay, let's go 1 more here. Same thing, 2 forehand volleys. Punch, beautiful. Play it out. Okay, and then we'd switch roles.
Yeah, so on this side, I'm just gonna drop and hit, making sure I'm getting that direction of my drive to Tyson's forehand volley here. Here we go. There's 1, 2, I'm gonna work to come in. Took the bait a little bit there.
Okay guys, game recap. This is for the individual that tends to take the paddle back too far on their forehand volley. We have 2 different scenarios here. The first side, the person that was at the net had a ball in the armpit. They had to hit 2 punch volleys with their forehand volley with the correct technique, and then after that, the point was live. The baseliner essentially had to drive 2 forehand ground strokes to this person's forehand volley. After those 2 volleys, they let the ball go out. The baseliner came in, and then we played the point out. Great game that starts out as a drill that leads into a game.
So it's gonna, yeah, like Tyson said, guys, it's gonna start out cooperative, and then the moment that your partner is able to execute that second forehand volley, that's when you're gonna want to go ahead and start the point live. Normally you'd want to soften at that point, try to work your way in and play it out.